How is that? It looks blurry. Are we good? Hey guys. I know I'm live. Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Is the picture okay? How's it going? Happy Friday. Hello, hello. Okay, we'll wait for a few more to join and then get started. Lots to talk about today. Happy Friday. Hey there, how are you? Hi Glenn, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Okay, cool, we have some people. What's good? Oh, hi Masta, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining. Yay! Good evening, good evening. Howdy, Lance. Hello, hello. Okay, so I just have 2 topics for tonight, but if you guys want to talk about anything else, just let me know because there were some developments in this odd Alec Baldwin situation that's going on. So I thought we would talk about that and then what's happening on the border. Hello. Yay. Okay, we have more people. Howdy from Canada. Hello from Canada. How are you doing? Yay. Okay, welcome everyone. So I went to Chick-fil-A today and they don't have any carbonated drinks. So I'm drinking sweet tea. Due to supply shortages, there are no carbonated drinks. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hi Al. Hi Andy. Nice to see you all. Hello, hello, hello. Put Alec Baldwin in jail. Hello, put Alec Baldwin in jail. Nice to see you. We're going to talk about Alec Baldwin actually at the top of this show. Hi. Oh, hello. We have lots of people here. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for joining. Yay. Okay. So, there has been, just adjusting my camera. Okay, I think we have everyone here. Well, we have enough people here. More will join as we go on, as they do. Hello from New York. Karen. Hello, Karen from New York. Thank you for coming. Are you a firearm owner? No, I am actually not a firearm owner. I have several weapons. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my weapon arsenal. You might like this. Give me just a second. I'm going to get my little arsenal of weapons. You will find this quite... The Alec Baldwin memes have been especially vicious today. They really have. Hello from Minnesota. Thank you for joining from Minnesota. Someone was asking for my arsenal of weapons. Throwing star time. Hi. Okay, I'm going to show you my arsenal of weapons. I am not a firearm owner, although I have gone shooting. Let me get... We're doing show and tell. There's so much happening. By the way, this is my little cabin room. I am in the country. I am way in the country, and this is my little cabin room. So that's where I'm at right now. My cat, oh, she's not asleep behind me. Usually she's asleep behind me. I'm going to show you my arsenal of weapons. Give me 1 second. Arsenal of weapons. Also, okay. So, okay, I do have a switchblade. I cannot show you that. I also, for some reason, cannot deploy, so I do not own a firearm. I do have a pretty handy, this is my taser. It's pretty cool. I don't think I can deploy it for you. I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, but it's pretty cool. So, if there are any women watching, it's Viper Tech. And there it is. It's pretty gnarly. And also, all you have to do if you own this, it has a sweet little case that you can hook up to a belt. And if you own it, all you have to do is take out, yeah, deploy what I just showed you. You plug it in the wall once a month. It just plugs in right by itself. And you just charge it once a month and it's good to go. It's that big. It's pretty cool. There's the taser part. I carry that with me. I also have a Chinese ninja star, which I don't carry with me too often. So there's that. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty legit. You can see it. That's it. I don't actually carry that with me. It's just something funny that I have. But yes, I have been trained on the range, so I do know how to handle a firearm. Although I do not own one. My parents own one. My Hi Zombie, my boyfriend owns one. I don't own one personally, but hopefully eventually I will get one. I have been trained, and the interesting thing about being trained, since we're going into this Alec Baldwin story, is that as soon as I was trained, the very first thing they teach you is firearm safety and never to point your weapon at anyone at any time. You always check your weapon and you never point it at anyone, ever. So that was the very first thing that I learned. I remember the first time, so once we went through all the safety, how to handle the firearm, everything like that, they took us to the shooting range. So I remember being at the shooting range, and the first time I fired the weapon, I fired it once, I put it down, I backed up, and I was like, holy cow. I had to take a second because just the power, I felt the power of what I was firing for the very first time, and I had to take a second and just take it in because I don't know how to describe it. All of you that have fired a firearm, you understand what I'm talking about, but it's this power that you just have a lot of respect for. It scares you in a healthy way, and you have a lot of respect for it. So I put the weapon down, and I just took a step back, and I was like, okay, I get it. This is a very powerful thing that I have in my hand right now, and I need to respect it. And it was pretty insane. But I have shot a firearm before. I was trained in it, all of that stuff. And it's pretty powerful. It's pretty wild. And this Alec Baldwin thing is just blowing my mind. Hi Kelly, how are you doing? It is absolutely blowing my mind because I've worked on, if you guys know me, you know that I'm an actress. I've never worked on anything big. I've only been at like Wizard Con and a few Comic Cons and stuff like that. I've been blown up before, but your Instagram has you shooting at the range. Oh, okay. So someone has been on my Instagram. So yes, my Instagram does have me shooting at the range. That's when I learned to shoot, was at the range. So yes, I have shot before, but I do not own a firearm. But I will say I have a lot of respect for the firearm. A lot of respect. Trust me, I learned it that day. But I've worked on movie sets. I've never worked on a movie set that actually had a firearm on it. So I can't tell you that from personal experience. But I do know that you never point it at anyone. There are a lot of checks and balances. I have a few updates for you from what happened with Alec Baldwin. This is wild. I cannot wrap my head around how this happened. Kelly says, I learned to shoot when I was 8. Heck yeah, Kelly. Okay, so Kelly's a badass. Kelly's way more of a badass than I am. I cannot make sense of this. I really can't. Okay, so here's a few updates. Again, I can't make sense of this. Oh, I didn't read what that was. Okay. All right, let's read through this together. So, I also want to say that, yeah, I know. That's why Kelly is so cool, because she learned to shoot at such a young age. That is definitely why she's super cool. Way cooler, I think, than all of us. Don't ever be corrupted by Hollywood. You seem very humbled. No, I'm not corrupted by Hollywood. You know what? I moved to Hollywood, and I'm not staying there right now. I'm staying with my parents, I think, as a lot of you know. And I've been staying here for a little while. I actually I didn't want to say this. I had a death in the family this week, so I've been helping my family out. I've been here. We've had illness in the family. We've had death in the family. It's been pretty wild here in Virginia, but I'm very thankful for everyone. I'm very thankful for you guys. It's all good, so don't worry about anything. Um, but everyone is doing really well. But no, Hollywood has. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. It's no, everyone's doing well. I don't ever want to worry anybody. Thank you very much. It was really unexpected, the death. That's why I haven't really made a lot of videos this week, was because of that. It happened over the weekend. No worries. I am so sorry to hear that. Prayers to you and your family. Thank you so much. No worries. We are fine. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate that. I never like to be too personal because some people don't agree with what I say online, but they say everything happens in threes, and that was kind of how it happened with my family. And that's why this story stuck with me a little bit, because there was a really unexpected death with this story, and my heart goes out to the woman that died. She was 42 years old. I think the way you pronounce her name is Helena. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but she seemed like a really talented, like really beautiful woman, and I believe she had a child, and my prayers go out to her and her family. But again, it's just wild. Things do come in threes. I've seen that pattern over and over. I am distracted. Back in a minute. Okay, bye, Kelly. Go be distracted. I know that's exactly how it happened with my family. So this was the third thing. So hopefully we're good for a while. Exactly, later on, for sure. Um, I actually, so I started acting in Colorado, and a lot of my Colorado friends, they work in New Mexico. So I have a ton of friends that work in the New Mexico market. Kelly forgot to clean her gun. She's going to go clean her gun. Good for her. All right, so here's the update with the Alec Baldwin story. So, if no one knows what happened with Alec Baldwin, I'm sure we all do. He was working on a set in New Mexico on a film called Rust. He was not only the principal actor, a he was also a producer in the film, and he shot off what was supposed to be a prop gun. Come home to Colorado. Oh, hi, James. You're in Colorado. What part of Colorado? I'll see if I can see you say that. So he shot off what was supposed to be a prop gun, and it shot a live round. It fatally injured one person and injured another. Alec B wants everyone at the Capitol 1-6 hung just for being there. What about somebody shooting somebody? Okay, thank you so much for the donation. Exactly. So if you guys, and this is what is really interesting about the Alec Baldwin story, is because he is so angry towards conservatives, and he has actually called for people to be harmed in the exact way that he has harmed this individual. That is one of the things, and I hate to say it, I never want to bring these things up, but it's hard to ignore. He has called for people to be harmed in the exact way that he accidentally harmed these individuals, which is wild. How does that happen? And he has so much hatred towards conservatives, and he has so much hatred for the people on January 6th. Lakewood by Red Rocks. Okay, I know exactly where Lakewood is. Been to Red Rocks several times. Red Rocks, if you don't know, is a really cool music venue. Um, that's what's so ironic about what's going on with Alec Baldwin, is his rhetoric and the way he's been on social media, and it's almost impossible to ignore that when you see what happened with this situation. And I think that's why you really have to check yourself, and you really have to not let hate breed in your heart, no matter what it is. And what I've discovered, I'm going to give you the update in just a second. Hatred eventually turns on itself. Yeah. And I'm sorry to change course. RIP lady, absolutely, Masta. She seems like a really beautiful, really talented woman, and I hope that I just pray for her family. She really does. You can kind of tell when you see pictures of someone, if you look at the pictures of her online, she just sort of has a light about her, and you can see that. Alec yelled that on SNL, Miss Sarah, part of why I never watched it anymore. Okay, Kelly is back. All right, Kelly. I'm glad you're not distracted anymore. Nicely said, Glenn. Hi, Hammer. Okay. Um, but I do. It's odd. I feel like the things that you project out, they eventually come back to you in some way or another. Not that I wish any ill will on anyone. I think that Alec Baldwin is probably going to need a lot of counseling and a lot of help, and I hope that he gets that. But let's look at this update that's going on with this whole story. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so like I said, I started acting in Colorado. A lot of my Colorado friends, they work in New Mexico, so I'm very familiar with the New Mexico market. I actually reached out to some of my friends to see if they knew anything about what happened on this set. I haven't heard back yet. But here's the update. So the update before this was that the gun that was handed to Alec Baldwin actually had live ammunition in it, which is crazy. Why is there live ammunition on set? How did this get through all of the checks? Well, this might be an answer. Okay, so this is from the New York Post, and it says replacement non union worker was in charge of Alec Baldwin's deadly prop gun, says a source. So let's get into this story. And it says the film crew member in charge of Alec Baldwin's deadly prop gun was a non-union worker who was hired to replace union member, the Post has learned. The unidentified prop master was just brought in before the shooting that killed cinematographer Helena, I hope I'm saying her name right, Hutchins, 48. I'm not sure how old she was. One source said she was 42. Now they're saying she's 48. On the New Mexico set of Rust, a source involved in the movie said on Friday, today. Another source briefed on the situation told the Post that a crew of unionized workers walked off of the set at the Bonanza Creek Ranch near Santa Fe on Thursday morning over poor safety protocols before Baldwin, 68, fired the gun that day. Okay, if you didn't hear that correctly, some of the crew walked off the set of the New Mexico film because of poor safety protocols. Those workers were replaced by a non-union crew. The prop gun also misfired twice on Saturday and once during the previous week, a Los Angeles Times reported. So this is all from the New York Post, so you can check it, you guys. The information reportedly, Steven, you little stinker. Okay, Steven sent a sticker of a man surfing. Thank you so much, Steven. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Steven. Okay, so we'll continue. The information, busy, but busy is good. The information reportedly, I think you're talking to someone else. I pop in on these conversations and then I don't know what you guys are talking about. So if I awkwardly respond to something, just please forgive me. Because I get jealous that I can't be a part of the conversation. The information reportedly came from a knowledgeable crew member that told the Times that there was a serious lack of safety meetings on this set. This is not good, you guys. Not good at all. Ugh. On a 911 recording obtained by TMZ, a woman who identified herself to the operator as the movie's script supervisor can be heard blaming the incident on someone whose name has apparently been bleeped out. Okay, this is what she said. Okay, this is effing that. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, here we go. Kelly. Kelly said, I forgive you. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I forgive you. I try. I want to, because I'm in charge, but then I want to be a part of the conversation. Also, my Southern accent is getting really thick since I live here. So you're going to hear it coming out more and more and more as we go on with these live streams. Every week, my Southern accent is going to get thicker and thicker. Okay, so this is what the girl said who called 911, who is on the set of this film. She said, okay, this effing, Okay, this effing bleep that yelled at me at lunch asking that revisions, this effing mother effer, she apparently said. Okay, so people on this set are really, really upset. An unidentified crew member also told the Times that Hutchins, this is the woman who passed, had been advocating for safer work conditions for her team before she was killed. This is devastating. The Times reported that half a dozen unionized camera crew workers walked off the set on Thursday to protest their working conditions. The crew reportedly showed up as scheduled at 6:30 a.m. on Thursday, but began gathering up their gear and personal possessions to leave. Some sort of settlement was apparently reached because the Times said the workers, members of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, later spent an hour setting up their gear, but at some point several non-union workers reportedly showed up to replace them, and a member of the production staff ordered the union crew to leave. Okay, let me tell you why this is very, very, very significant. Okay, so this is what I can tell you. This is what I do know. I don't believe your voice is like a cat scratching glass. Well, get out of my live stream. What are you doing here? Psh. Okay, anywho, we'll continue. So this is significant because SAG-AFTRA is the Screen Actors Guild. That is the union. When you hire union workers, those are two different things. I do not believe in a lot of unions. I do believe in SAG. And the reason for that is this very thing is what we're talking about right now. Because when you hire SAG workers, whether it's crew, no matter what it is, you have certain guidelines that you have to go through. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So you have certain things that you have to meet. You have certain paperwork that you have to fill out. You have certain safety guidelines that you have to meet. When you're hiring non-union workers, you don't have those guidelines. So that's why this point of the conversation is very, very significant. Okay, so it says the production staffer threatened to call in security to remove the union workers if they didn't go voluntarily. The shooting that killed Hutchins and also wounded director Joel Souza took place about 6 hours after the union workers left. Comers were being cut and they brought in non-union people so they could continue shooting. The unionized camera crew's complaints reportedly including long hours and wage issues. And that's what the union protects. That's why, I don't believe in a lot of unions, but I do understand the Screen Actors, because what they'll do is, especially with artists, with actors, there's so many desperate actors. You can hire a desperate actor and be like, can you work for 13 hours straight? And they'll be like, yes, you're going to put me in a film? Absolutely, I'll do that. And they will work under any conditions because they are so desperate to get ahead in that industry, if that makes sense to you all. But this, I understood. I love your adorable voice. Oh, thank you very much. I don't take offense to it. You get trolls no matter what you do, believe me. If that's the worst of what I get, it's totally fine. Okay, it says, in addition, the Times said that workers on the low-budget Western were promised that they'd be given no-cost hotel rooms in Santa Fe. Okay, so that was another issue with this whole situation, is that workers were made to drive over an hour, and they would be working long hours and in the middle of the night, and then they were not able to drive home. And typically in those situations, you're given lodging. Thank you guys. I know you support. That's really sweet. Thank you. Okay, and then it says, but shortly after filming began on October 6th, various crews were reportedly instead told they had to stay overnight in Albuquerque, about 50 miles away. On Tuesday, Hutchins posted a photo of the movie's cast and crew on her Instagram page, along with a shout out to her union. Standing in solidarity with IATSE crew here in New Mexico on Rust. The revelations of alarming safety worries and related labor strife raise a specter of looming legal storm that is likely to engulf Baldwin, who's named first among the dozen producers of Rust who are listed on the IMDb website. Los Angeles lawyer Louis Shapiro, who has appeared in legal analysis in Access Hollywood and Entertainment Tonight, said he expected Thursday's shooting would lead to a wrongful death suit, potentially a criminal case. So he says the question is, who was the one who is exercising negligence here? Who wasn't meeting their duty of care to make sure the gun was either loaded with the right ammunition or blanks? Where was the duty of care to make sure that the gun is properly loaded and properly used? That duty doesn't lie with the actor. The actor was just handed something. The duty of care was with the prop person. Okay, so this is where I disagree. So the duty of care is with the armorer, and that is with the person who takes care of the props. He or she is loading the gun, making sure everything is safe, checking everything, double checking everything, triple checking everything, and then handing it to the actor. But the actor, on top of that, why is that gun being pointed at someone else? So in my opinion, there are two people that are being negligent in that situation. And the other question is, if you're hiring non-union workers, what are their checks and balances? What is on their contract? I think there's a lot of negligence going on here. I don't know. I think it's your best live cast. Oh, thank you. I hope so. It sounds like the safety and welfare rules were not followed. I don't think they were followed. And the thing about Alec Baldwin, I get it that it was supposed to be pre-checked when it was handed to him. I completely get that. And to be honest, my heart goes out to him as well. I do not think he's a good person by any means at all. I think he's a very angry and bitter man, but I do not wish this upon anyone. I think it's a terrible situation. He did not do it on purpose. I don't know what happened. There's more that's going to come out about this, I think, later. But there's checks and balances before it gets to him. But then when it gets to him, there's also checks and balances when it gets to him. And there was negligence on both levels. A lot of negligence happened within this span. And I've never worked on a set where we've had a prop gun. I have worked on a set where we had stunts, and it is beyond safe. There are so many checks that go, and there are so many things to make sure that you are safe. But I also know that sometimes when you're working on a film set, there are long hours, you're trying to get things done, and things can go by the wayside. And that's really, really, really sad. Really sad. Let me see if there's anything else with this story. Okay. Creating a culture of safety requires relentless vigilance from every one of us, day in and day out. Please, if you see something, say something. A representative for Rust Movie Productions did not immediately return a request for comment from the Post. So there it is. Let me see really fast if there is an update. Okay, so this is what's also really ironic about this entire situation. So this is an article from The Hollywood Reporter, and this was from April 20th, 2018. Alyssa Milano, Alec Baldwin, Amy Schumer help launch anti-NRA campaign. The new initiative aims to advocate for a gun control and to chip away at the National Rifle Association's political influence. Okay, so this is the big point that I want to make about this. It is not about gun control, in my opinion. It is about gun safety. That's my opinion. And this just goes to show that, because one of the biggest advocates for gun control, Alec Baldwin, accidentally shot and killed someone. I need to cut out. Great chat. Cat you next time. Okay, I'll see you later. One of the biggest advocates for gun control accidentally shot and killed someone. So in my opinion, it's not about gun control. It's about gun safety and teaching people how to be safe with their firearms. You can look at the UK. So the UK is something that I've studied for a really long time. They banned guns in certain instances. They banned knives. More people get killed by knives in the UK than they do with guns. People will find things to be violent with others. So, and here's this article. Less than a month after March for Our Lives events swept through American cities to protest gun violence, a group of Hollywood stars, including Alyssa Milano, Amy Schumer, and Alec Baldwin, have partnered with Parkland, Florida students and activists to launch a gun safety campaign. And look what happened. Okay, I'm going to see. Crime went up in the UK immediately after they banned guns. Yeah, Kelly is right. There was a lot of knife crime, acid attacks, which is really, really disturbing. All kinds of stuff, especially by knives. That went up a lot. I'm going to see if there's any more updates with this. And then we'll move on to the border. The idea of safety is twisted upside down. Acid. Yeah, that's where they... Ugh, I hate even talking about this, but that's where they'll take acid and pour it in someone's face. Okay, so here's the latest update about Alec Baldwin. I'm going to read you a few things that people are saying on Twitter. So this is breaking 911. Before fatal shooting, Alec Baldwin was handed a loaded gun on film set by director who was unaware that it was loaded, and that's according to the Associated Press. So someone handed him a loaded gun. We know that. Jack, I can never say his name correctly. I think it's Posobiec. Posobiec. Jack Poso. I call him Poso. Jack Poso. Every gun owner... Posobiec. Jack Posobiec. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. Okay, so Jack... I'll just call him Jack for now. Every gun owner I know is saying Alec Baldwin is responsible because you are responsible for every firearm that is in your hand. 2A supporters have respect for firearms, and with that comes responsibility. Okay, so that's what Jack says. You should always check to see if a gun is loaded. Exactly. And it's interesting because all the 2A people are like, it's Alec Baldwin's fault, no doubt. That's what all the 2A people are saying. No doubt it's his fault. And I will say, I don't know a lot about guns. I've never worked on set with a gun, but I have been trained, and someone was on my Instagram, so they saw me with my gun. Not my gun, but they saw me shooting. The very first thing I was taught before I was even allowed to hold the gun was you always point it down. You do not ever point it at anyone, even if you think it's not loaded. It's always down. Okay, this is what Cernovich is saying. Cernovich. Interesting media framing of the Alec Baldwin story. Now we're getting gossipy. Emphasizing he was an actor. Fact check, he is a producer as well. So that's another angle of this story. He wasn't just an actor on the film, he's also a producer. Calling the film a low-budget movie. That's not accidental. It's called shaping. They want to minimize Baldwin's accountability. He could have a point there. Low budget means Well, the interesting part is there were union workers, and remember what I told you. When you hire union workers, you have a lot of paperwork to fill out. You have a lot of checks and balances. You have certain hours you can work them. You have certain things you have them do. There's a lot of stuff. You have to fill out a lot of stuff with union workers, and they do that to protect actors and to protect the people on set. Because I will say, and again, I want to emphasize this, I don't agree with all unions, and I know some unions are really crappy, but the actors union, they protect actors because what they will do is so many people are desperate to be a famous actor. They'll be like, I'll hire you for my movie and I'll pay you $50 to work 25 hours straight. And the actresses would be like, yeah, I'll do that. But that's why they protect the actors. So he has a point there. Let's see what else. I want to see the comments. Based on what I have read so far, there was an issue with union prop people and they hired non-union, exactly, to fill in the interim. A non-union crew member loaded the gun. If this is true, there's an issue right there. Where were the basic rules for gun handling on set? That's exactly what I just said. Because union, you have rules. And if Alec Baldwin is a producer, he was complicit in allowing this to happen. That's where he's not just the actor. And again, why was it pointed at people? That's what I don't understand. Okay, let's see what else is going on with this, and then we'll move on to something else. Okay, an NRA certified gun expert must be on set for Hollywood films going forward by law. At the very least, Florida could make this a state law. No more Alec Baldwin incidents. I agree with that. If you're going to have a gun on set, have an NRA expert on set at all times. Manslaughter, 5 years in prison. So a lot of people are calling for manslaughter, which, Masta, let me know if I'm correct, but that doesn't mean that you intended to harm the person, but it happened due to your negligence, right? And again, I'm sorry if I'm talking about this too much. It hits home because I have a lot of friends that act in the New Mexico market. Okay, I'm going to see if there's anything else. Okay, here's Cernovich again. Okay, Masta said correct. Okay, so Cernovich says any actor handling a gun, prop, or reel must undergo 40 hours of firearm safety provided by the NRA and become recertified each year. And again, I do not know why how was it loaded? I do not understand that. How in the heck did that happen? How is there a real bullet in a gun that was on a movie set? I have high school friends who are professional actors as well. Yeah. An actor, it's just because you're an actor, that doesn't mean you know anything. When you're an actor and you get hired to do a movie, you know nothing. You have to be trained, and you literally know nothing. You're trained to be an actor. You're not trained to be, usually you have how many shots were fired. We don't know that yet. I haven't read that anywhere. If anyone else has read something, please put it in the comments. I don't know. Okay, here's something else. Okay, the best analysis of Alec Baldwin incident I've seen all day. Alec Baldwin shoots woman dead, innocent accident or involuntary manslaughter. Attorney Andrew F. Branca, law defense. Oh, okay, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. I think that's it with Alec Baldwin. Yeah, that's it with Alec Baldwin. I'll keep up to date with this story and see if anything else is happening with it. I heard the lady was shot, the bullet went clean through, and the second person, many stories. That's really sad. He dropped one person, and then I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so I think that's it with Alec Baldwin. Holy cow, we spent 40 minutes on him. Later, no, he only fired once. So sad. And honestly, I know what it's like to be on a film set, and it's like a dream come true when you are on a film set. And that happened. Okay, moving along. We're going to go to the border, and we'll just do that for a few minutes because this is out of control. Next sounds like a nightmare. I know. And it is. It's a dream let's go, Brandon. It's a dream come true when you're on set, and the fact that this happens in a place where you should be safe. Oh, later on says I'm on the border. Well, let us know what you're experiencing on the border, please. So I've been actually in contact with a Border Patrol agent, and it's pretty crazy. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. So I don't want to like give away who he is, but I've been in contact for like a few months now with a Border Patrol agent, and he's been telling me stuff that he's been experiencing on the border. And one of the things that he was experiencing, he said, we just had a really big senator. I'm not going to tell you who. You can figure it out on your own. But I did double check all of this. By the way, I double checked he is a Border Patrol agent, and I also double checked the story that he told me, and it was in fact true. National Guard is working directly with traffickers. Way to go. Take care. Love you. Oh, okay. Thank you, William. See you later. I did double check to make sure what he was telling me is true, and it is very true. So there was a very famous senator, Lindsey Graham, who visited the border in Yuma recently, and our Border Patrol agents were basically told that they needed to deter a lot of the crossings. So they had a lot of buses coming in and picking up the people that were crossing the border overnight and shipping them to other areas to basically make it look like this situation was not as bad as it was. So but this shouldn't be a shock to you. It wasn't really a shock to me. They're trying to hide how bad it really is. And why would you try to hide how bad it really is? Why are you doing this on purpose? Is the question. And I know a lot of people have speculations, and a lot of people are like, oh, I know exactly why. It's because they want to get people in here for the votes and this and that. But even still, it's like, it's so freaking bad. How do this many people know about this and no one is doing anything? I don't understand. But here's the update. He's also the one that told me, and when kids are and this is what I don't understand as well. When kids are crossing by themselves, they are going through a treacherous desert land. They're not just, hi Timothy, how are you? They're not just walking across the border by themselves. Someone is taking them there. Someone is directing them where to go, and how all of these Americans are just ignorant to the fact that someone is taking them there. They're not just crossing by themselves. There's something else going on. These children are being smuggled. They're being trafficked. And so many people are just so ignorant to this. It's mind-blowing. And all of these people that think they're tolerant leftists are like, open borders. I'm like, how do you think all these kids are getting here? And so we know that the Biden administration has flights that are going out at like 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. from some of these points and taking kids to New York City, or not New York City, but New York State and Florida in the middle of the night. So I'm going to read you a bit of an update about what's going on the border. And I don't know if you watched it. Did anyone watch the town hall last night with Joe Biden? So he was asked if he ever went to the border, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been to the border." What, like 10 years ago? He's never been to the border, and he didn't even mention Kamala Harris, who is our border czar, who's supposed to be in charge of the border. None of that. Okay, so I'm going to read you this update about what's going on the border right now. It is a joke, and it's angering. Pasaki said she drove by in 2008. Okay, Timothy has it. Yeah, she did. Biden lied as usual. Yes, he did. Yeah, and Saki, thank you, Timothy. So Saki said Biden drove by in 2008. Duh, you guys. He does care about the border. He has been at the border. He drove by in 2008. Come on. What are you complaining about? Lower your expectations. That's what this administration is all about. Lower your expectations. And by the way, if you were not here in the beginning of this live stream, this is sweet tea. So I went to Chick-fil-A. I went to my aunt's house earlier today and stopped by Chick-fil-A, and they had no carbonated drinks. They're out of carbonation because of supply chain shortages. There was no carbonation. So just saying. All right, so let's read an update on what's going on the border. So it says, Democrat President Joe Biden's border crisis reached a new level on Friday as data released by U.S. Customs and Border Protection showed that the Border Patrol has made approximately 1.6 million arrests of illegal aliens entering the U.S. from Mexico for the fiscal year of 2021. Let's continue. Border crossings surpassed 1.6 million annually, at least twice recently. In 1986 and 2000, the Wall Street Journal reported in 2019, when crossings reached a peak under the Trump administration, the Border Patrol made about 850,000 arrests. The journal added that the 1.6 million arrests in the fiscal year 2021, which started in October 2020, was the highest annual number ever recorded. CBP said that it recorded 100,092 encounters along the southern border for the month of September, a slight decrease from the previous month. So that's good news. Chad Wolf, former acting DHS Secretary and Heritage Visiting Fellow, slammed Biden in a statement over the latest numbers, calling his policies a failure. So I'm going to read you Chad Wolf's statement. I don't know if you remember who Chad Wolf was. He was all over the news during the Trump administration. This is his statement. So he says, instead of upholding the rule of law, the administration has chosen to open the border by eliminating effective humane border security policies that are working, replace those policies with no alternative, and then process subsequent historic flows of illegal aliens into the United States as quickly as possible. And make no mistake, the contrary to the Biden administration's spin, the vast majority of those apprehended at the southern border are being released into our communities, as CBP's own publicly available numbers show. The men and women of CBP deserve a much better than this. They deserve leaders who help them do their jobs, enforce the rule of law, and give them the tools they need. The Biden administration has done the opposite at every turn, and we are paying the price for it. And this is what I say for my friends that have young kids that voted for Biden. I'm like, you guys, I don't know if this continues. It's not. And you know, my boyfriend works for a company, and he goes into Mexico sometimes, and he has to have a kidnapping insurance to go into Mexico because the cartel is so bad. He's required to have that because of what he does. And how long is it going to be before nobody voted for Biden? How long is it going to be before that infiltrates into the U.S. at the rate we're going? And I don't mean to fearmonger, but seriously, think about it. if this many people are coming into the US and they're not, let me see if I can, Bill Malusian. Okay. So I'm going to give you some more updates about who is actually coming into the US. Kids are under the influence of vote blue no matter who. I completely agree. It has already been infiltrated. Okay, so I'm going to give you some updates about who exactly is coming in the US. I am on Bill Malusian. Okay. Bill Malusian, who works for Fox News, he used to work for Fox LA, and his main assignment, he's been on the border for 7 months now. I think ever since Biden got in office, Bill Malusian has been on the border reporting about what's happening on the border. So he reported 10 hours ago, new, in just a span of hours on Wednesday, Border Patrol here in RVG report they arrested 3 gang members who crossed illegally. MS-13, so these are the 3 gang members that they arrested. MS-13 with homicide charges in New York. MS-13 with homicide arrest in El Salvador. MS-13 with homicide arrest, 18th Street member who was deported last month. So these are some of the people that they're arresting coming over the border. Also, new, 2 people are dead and 5 others hospitalized in crash involving suspect human smuggling here in Mission, Texas this morning, according to DPS. Vehicle is being pursued by local PD. So this is probably about the 4th car accident that I've heard of this year, where police were pursuing a car and it was filled with illegal immigrants that were being smuggled, and it resulted in an accident and there were fatalities. So that's one more thing. Group of single adult illegal immigrants being taken into custody by Border Patrol in La Jolla, Texas right now. Some of the men are wearing camouflage, which typically we see with runners. No children or family units in this group, with what we can see. Yeah. And you hear these stories and it's like, how long is it before our southern states along the border are as dangerous as areas are in Mexico? Kelly says 90% of fentanyl and heroin are coming along the US border. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, or I don't know if you heard, this hit a little close to home for me because I have some friends in the comedy world. There was a really tragic thing that happened. And by the way, don't do drugs, kids. Just don't do drugs, first and foremost. I'm not excusing the drug use, but there is something that happened in Venice Beach, California. And it wasn't with the homeless, it was with a few comedians, people that were pretty famous on the comedy circuit. And they were doing some coke at a party late night over Labor Day weekend. I believe 2 of them died. Was it 2 or 3? 2 of them died and one of them was critically injured, and it was fentanyl. So whatever they got on the street, whatever coke they got on the street had fentanyl in it, and 2 of them died. So it's pretty serious. And I'm even hearing that you can get like edibles or weed and it might have fentanyl in it. There was also a video of a police officer, and I don't know how this happened. Comedy is dead. Oh, dark humor. Somebody said comedy is dead. There you go. And yeah, Andy, yes, 100. Oh, okay. So someone just said the other side owns the border. Okay, this is interesting. So the Border Patrol agent I was talking to also told me that during the visit from this famous senator, Instagram, the Mexican officials were able to stop crossings during that time. And then when this person left, all of a sudden crossings resumed, which I was like, wait a second. Does that mean they have the ability to stop crossings? And he was like, now you're catching on. So do with that what you will. How long before fentanyl is found in our food? Oh gosh, don't say that. Ugh, I don't know. That's a scary thought. I don't know. I didn't think about that, but thank you for putting that in my head. Follow the money. Yeah. Guys, always follow the money. One of my favorite, can I just get on my high horse for a second? One of my favorite examples of this, follow the money always. So something I always try to tell people, I love using this example because it's one of the only ones that I have, so just let me have this moment. AOC. What I tell people, I'm not saying that environment change isn't real. I'm not saying that COVID isn't real. I'm not saying that any of those things are not real, but you have to be careful of the scare tactics that people use. For example, AOC's Green New Deal. When she originated the Green New Deal, it had nothing to do with the environment. It had everything to do with the economy, which makes sense because she's a socialist and her degree from Boston University is in economics. It was all about the economy. Even her chief of staff, one of her biggest staffers, admitted this. If you Google it, you will find an article where her chief of staff said it had nothing to do with environment and had everything to do with the economy, which again makes sense because she's a socialist and because her degree is in economics. So what they will do is they will use the environment and use these scare tactics to get you to be like, oh, the world's going to end in 12 years. Yes, please raise my taxes because I don't want the world to end. Yes, I will go along with this crazy idea that you're proposing because who wants the world to end? Yes, she has an economics degree. So that's what they do. Way back in the day, there was something called Torches of Freedom. Look this up, Torches of Freedom. And this was, I'm going to have to look this up. So I think it was a cigarette company that hired, this is all about propaganda. So it was a cigarette company back in the day that hired someone and said, look, we need to sell more cigarettes and can you help us do that? So this person was like, yeah, I can help you sell more cigarettes. And at the time, men smoked, but women didn't smoke. And the person they hired was like, women are not smoking cigarettes. So how can we get women to, and this is like a whole demographic that we could make money off of. How can we get them to smoke cigarettes? So they came up with Torches of Freedom. And this was a huge campaign that they came up with. The cigarette, it was Lucky cigarettes. It was a huge, look it up. It was a huge campaign that they came up with and they made it a feminist thing. So they made smoking a feminist thing and they called it Torches of Freedom. So women who smoked could feel liberated because typically women didn't smoke. That was not feminine. That was something that men did. But if you could tell women that smoking was like this feminine freedom thing, then they would be, Lucky Strikes, yeah, then they would be more likely to buy cigarettes and want to smoke. So they made this whole campaign, Torches of Freedom. They did a march. They did this whole thing. But if you spoke out against Torches of Freedom, they would be like, well, are you not all about what Masta said? You're not all about equal rights? You don't want women to have the same rights as men? You don't think they should be able to do what men do? But it wasn't about that. It was about they wanted to make money. And they saw this whole demographic of people that were not buying cigarettes. So that's how they tapped into that market. But that's how they manipulated the whole conversation with Torches of Freedom. Luckies, yeah. And it's the same thing. I think of the same thing when I think of Black Lives Matter. I think of the same thing when I think of how they push environment change. I think of the same thing when they push abortion. Um, all of that. All of it. Follow the money. All of it. I don't think what however you feel about it, and again, I'm not saying my belief on all of these issues, whether it's abortion, environment, what's another hot topic, Black Lives Matter. I'm not giving you my point of view on either of these things, and I'm not saying that the issue that's presented doesn't exist, but they will fear monger it to the extent that you will play into whatever policy they are trying to push. They will take it and they will push it to the extreme to get you to go on board with their policy. And I wish that people in school, like kids in high school, would be taught these things to learn how to see and read in between the lines, to learn. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know if it's the media. I don't know what it is. You are allowed to have your own opinion, Sarah. No, but it's not about my opinion on the matter. It's about they will take these things and they will push it to the extreme and make it so extreme that you get on board with these crazy policies. My opinion actually in this conversation doesn't even matter, because that's not what it's about. They will take because I agree. So let's just take climate, environment change. I'm trying to be careful because of YouTube. Let's take environment, for example. I do believe that the environment is changing. I don't believe it's as extreme as what they're trying to push, but what they will do is they will push it, and they'll tell you, like, I'll just take AOC as an example. The world's going to end in 10 years. The world's going to end in 12 years. So then when she presents her Green New Deal, you're like, yes, we need that. We need the Green New Deal because the earth is going to end and I will pay all my money in taxes so that the world doesn't end. Do I think it's probably changing? Yes. It's electric. Do I think it's changing? Yes, but they will take that and they take it all the way to get you to get on board. Just like what they do with abortion. They make it so political. So how I feel on abortion, I'm not going to tell you my feelings on abortion, but I will tell you this. I do not like Planned Parenthood. I do not like them at all. And I think that a lot of the Planned Parenthood, or a lot of the abortion argument, has to do with the fact that Planned Parenthood has to do with Planned Parenthood. I do not like Planned Parenthood. I would never advise any of my friends to go there. If you need any services as a female, there are a lot of places that you can go that are nonprofit that will give you free services. We do not need Planned Parenthood. I do not like them, and I think Planned Parenthood politically motivates our politicians, and it's more about Planned Parenthood than it is about abortion. So does that make sense? Babies are our greatest treasure. Absolutely, I agree with that. And I'm not talking about the abortion argument, but Planned Parenthood, I think, is behind a lot of the craziness, if that makes sense. Behind some of these things. I don't agree with Planned Parenthood either. Don't like them. Don't like them. And I would never advise anyone to go there. And Kelly, there are so many nonprofit places that if you had a girlfriend that was really poor, if it was you or if it was I, or if someone needed a service, there are so many nonprofits that will give you a free service, and you don't need to go there. But I think that a lot of I'm trying to word this correctly, but that's just one more thing that they push, that they get people to get so crazy about, but it's really about the money. I think a lot of the abortion argument is really about the money, if that makes sense. And it's because Planned Parenthood, someone just said it on here, they give a lot of money to so and so and so. Follow the money. It's about money. That's really all it is. Okay, thank you. Someone said we get you. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Planned Parenthood is an organ heart. Yeah, I think so too. Planned Parenthood is an organ harvesting operation. I agree with that. I am someone. It's about making money with Planned Parenthood. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I just don't want my tax dollars used to... Exactly, and I don't think it should be tax funded. And like I said, it doesn't have to be tax funded. And I don't... If I could talk to leftists, that's what I would say. It does not have to be tax funded, because even if you are for that, there's a lot of nonprofits out there. Tons of them. If you need, they will give it to you for free, whatever you need, and it does not have to be tax funded. So to me, it's about money. It's not about women's rights, which is how they try to paint it. It's about money, and that bothers me. But that's what they do with things. They will use the climate, they will use women's rights, they will use all of these things. They will use race, and they will use all of these things to get your vote and to get you on board with these policies, and it's not actually about that. It's about money. Sarah, did you hear Don Bonagino discuss 3 counties in Maryland who want to succeed? No, I didn't. Secede. I'm sorry. Why are the shelves empty, Joe? Oh, the height of the fun. Fear tactics and emotion. Yeah, they know that. It's all about propaganda. If you're well-versed in propaganda, then you understand that. And I'm actually not well-versed in propaganda. I've just been paying attention. And once you pay attention for a little bit, you can't deny what's actually happening. Okay, it's all about the green. Yes. It's all about the green. All about the green. All right, you all. I think that's everything for tonight. Did we have fun? I hope we had fun. I am too poor to pay attention. Oh, you want some ukulele? Hold on, I'll play some. I haven't played in a long time. Oh, thank you. My foot is stuck in it. Okay, honestly, you guys, I'm going to play for you. Oh, you did have fun? Good. I'm going to play for you. I'm not going to say, I haven't played in a long time. Okay, this is Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let me know if you can tell I'm playing that. Very nice. You should be a rocker. Thank you, Kelly. Hold on, I'll play another song for you. Thank you so much, Kelly. That was really sweet. Hold on, I'm going to try to play another song. I just need the chords. Hello from the Philippines. Hi. How much do you need to spend for a good ukulele? It is a good ukulele. Hold on, I'm going to play a different song. I just need to get the chords. Once again, yes, Kelly is amazing. Thank you, Kelly. Tiptoe Through the Forest. I know, it was a, Tiptoe Through, oh, hold on. Woo! Paris Hilton, okay. Okay, I'll play a little tune from this, and then I probably have to go. Okay. Thank you, everybody. That was really fun. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. Okay, I had fun. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. Had a blast. Okay, I'm glad you guys had fun. I had fun. If there's ever topics that you want to talk about, just put them on the comments in my videos. I'll always tell you before I go live. Okay, that was really fun. I had a great time. Fun and unique. Have a good night. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, bye, Kelly. Bye, everyone. It was so nice to see you guys again. I had a rough week, so it was really nice to see all of you, and I really appreciate it. Okay, I thank you very much. All right, I'll see you all later. Free bird. Maybe I can learn that next time. That sounds complicated. All right, bye. Thank you, everybody. Okay, thank you so much. Bye, Hammerstein. We got your back. Oh, that's really sweet. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. You're so awesome. Thank you. You make me really happy. Okay. All right. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.